All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to another deep dive, everybody, into the world of AI.
Right. It seems like every day something new is happening.
Oh, yeah.
But today we're going to be focusing on, well, how this whole AI thing is really, really starting to heat up, specifically for businesses, right? Everyone's trying to figure out how to use this new tech.
Yeah,
And we're going to be focusing on a recent article from Cypress Mail. It's got some really interesting insights about what IBM is up to, what they're doing with AI.
it does. And it really is a fascinating shift in strategy, I think, from them.
Mm.
So they've just released these new AI models. They're calling them Granite 3.0, right? And the big news is they're making them open source.
Open source, so anyone can just grab these and use them.
Pretty much, yeah. You can use them, you can modify them. It's a big difference from some of their competitors like Microsoft, who are charging for access to their AI models. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it does seem like a big difference. It almost seems like they're kind of leaving money on the table, right? Just
Yep.
giving this stuff away.
I think it's more strategic than that. And I think what they're trying to do is really encourage wider adoption,
Yeah.
you know, get more people using their technology,
Yeah.
almost kind of like seeding the market, if you will.
Seeding the market.
Yeah, get it out there, get people familiar with it, get people using it, and then from there,
And then what? What happens then?
well, then, they can offer additional services and support for businesses that maybe need more advanced features or, need help integrating it into their systems.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, you got to think they're not just, giving away the farm here. There's got to be a bigger plan.
Yeah, and the article mentions their WatsonX platform,
Right.
and that seems to be, providing the tools and the infrastructure that businesses need to really implement these models.
So it's kind of like they give you the basic ingredients, but if you want the like, the whole meal, the whole shebang, you gotta go with Watson's.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. They're making it easy to get started, but they're also offering a way to monetize their expertise.
It's a smart move.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a smart move. But it's interesting. The article also mentioned a partnership with NVIDIA.
Oh yeah.
Now they're making some of these Granite models available on NVIDIA's platform, so businesses can use them with all of NVIDIA's tools and software. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a big deal because NVIDIA, if you're not familiar, they basically dominate the market for these specialized chips, the GPUs.
Right. The GPU.
Yeah, the GPUs that are, super important for running these AI models, for training them. They're essential.
And so by partnering with NVIDIA, I mean IBM is basically making sure that their models can be used with the best hardware
Yeah.
and software,
Yeah.
right? The best stuff out there.
Absolutely. And it makes them even more appealing to businesses. If you want the best performance, if you want to, squeeze every bit of power out of these
Right. But
models.
you gotta have the right tools for the job.
Exactly. You need the right hardware.
Yeah.
And this partnership, it really highlights how crucial hardware is. The article mentions that these Granite models were trained using NVIDIA's H100 GPUs.
H100 GPUs. Those are like the top of the line.
The top of the line, some of the most powerful chips out there, and
Yeah.
and using them, it just shows how computationally intensive it is to actually train these AI models.
Yeah, this is not just some software you download and run on your laptop.
No.
This is serious computing power we're talking about.
It is. It's massive. And it really gives you a sense of the scale involved here.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. But with all that said, we keep talking about businesses, businesses, businesses. It seems like IBM is really targeting like the business world with this.
Yeah, that's definitely a key takeaway here. I mean, they're not just, throwing these models out there and hoping for the best. They're actively, they're positioning themselves as the go-to solution for businesses that want AI.
So why do you think they're so focused on businesses? What is it uh, about generative AI that has like companies so excited?
I think that's a great question. And to really answer that, I think we need to look at what generative AI can actually do for businesses. So imagine, for instance, uh, I think that's a great question. And to really answer that, I think we need to look at what generative AI can actually do for businesses. So
Mm.
imagine, for instance, a marketing team.
Right.
They need to come up with ad copy, right,
Mm.
targeted to specific demographics. Well, generative AI can do that in an instant.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it can create compelling copy. And then what about customer service?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Imagine, you've got AI that can provide, helpful and personalized responses to inquiries like all the time, 24/7, without, a human having to be there.
So we're not just talking about like, automating those really basic tasks, right? We're talking about like AI that can actually, think for itself almost, right? Create, strategize, problem solve.
Yeah, I mean it can do a lot of those things, right? It's very powerful. And think about data analysis too.
Oh, data. Right, right.
I mean, they've got tons of data, right? Mountains of data.
Yeah.
And generative AI can go through it all, like super fast, identify trends, find insights that would take humans like weeks, months to uncover.
So it's like having like, a super analyst, like a super powered analyst,
Yeah.
just working for you around the clock, like never stopping. I mean, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, right? Like with all these companies, Google, Microsoft, everyone's developing AI.
Mhm.
Is it going to be like an AI arms race where only the companies with like, billions of dollars can win?
Yeah, it's a good question, right? And it's true, developing AI, deploying it can be expensive. But I think IBM's open source approach is really interesting
Okay.
because it suggests that, maybe things will be a bit more level.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe smaller businesses will be able to get in on the action too without, having to spend a fortune.
That's good. I mean, I like that. It's not just the big guys, right? Anyone can benefit from this.
Right.
But even if access becomes easier, right? I mean, there's still the challenge of knowing how to actually use these tools effectively.
Oh, absolutely. Just having the AI model isn't enough. Businesses need to, think about strategy.
Strategy.
Yeah, how are they going to actually integrate these models into their workflows?
Right.
And how are they going to train their employees to work alongside AI?
So it's not just about the technology. It's about the people too. The strategy, like you said, it's everything together. The whole ecosystem.
It really is. You need to think holistically.
Okay, so IBM is making this big play for businesses, the open source thing, the watsonx platform. But where do they fit in? Like the bigger picture. Like
Yeah.
who else should we be aware of in this whole AI landscape?
Well, I mean, there are some big players out there. You've got Google, right? They're developing their own AI models. They've got Bard, right?
Yeah.
They're also, heavily invested in cloud computing. So, all
Yeah.
that infrastructure that you need to run these massive AI models.
Okay, infrastructure, yeah.
And then you've got Amazon with AWS, their cloud service.
Right, AWS.
And they're also developing their own AI chips. They're going all in.
Wow. So it really is like, oh, it's a battle royale out there. Everyone's trying to like, grab their piece of the AI pie.
It is. It is. And what's interesting is that, everyone's approaching it a little differently. Some are, focused on creating the most powerful models. Others are, really emphasizing ease of use, making it accessible.
Right.
And then others are, specializing in specific industries or specific applications.
Right.
But all this competition, it's really driving innovation. And that's good for everybody, ultimately.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, right? That this is all happening now. It's not science fiction.
No.
This is today.
Yeah, it's here.
But with all this competition, with all this innovation, it does make you wonder, like, what does it all mean for the average person?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how will this actually change the way we live and work?
Yeah. That's the big question, isn't it? I mean, imagine a world where
It's incredible to think that all this is happening now. It's not science fiction. This is today.
yeah, it's here.
But with all this competition, with all this innovation, it does make you wonder, like, what does it all mean for the average person?
Yeah.
How will this actually change the way we live and work?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, imagine a world where your doctor uses AI
Okay.
to analyze your medical history, your genetic information, and create like a truly personalized treatment plan just for you.
Wow, okay.
Or picture this, you're commuting to work, but there's no traffic.
No traffic.
No traffic jams
Oh.
because AI is optimizing the traffic flow.
Okay, so we're not just talking about like AI transforming businesses. We're talking about, AI that revolutionizes healthcare, transportation. I mean, everything. Right. It's pretty exciting. But it also makes you think like, are we ready for this?
That's the question everyone's asking, right?
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer. I don't think anyone really knows for sure, but one thing's for certain, AI is here to stay.
Yeah.
And its impact is going to be huge. Like it's going to touch every part of our lives. So I think what's important now is that we figure out how to use it responsibly.
Responsibly, yeah. I mean, it's a powerful tool, right? So how do we make sure that it's used ethically, that it benefits everyone, not just, a select few?
Exactly. We need to have these conversations,
Yeah.
open and honest conversations
Yeah.
about the potential benefits, the risks, talk about regulation, oversight. How do we prepare people for the changes that AI is going to bring? I mean, it's a huge challenge, but it's also an incredible opportunity, I think,
Yeah.
to really shape a better future, a future where AI helps us, empowers us.
Okay, so to kind of sum things up here, it seems like IBM is making this big move with open sourcing its AI models.
Right.
They're betting that this is going to give them a leg up in this whole AI race.
Yeah.
But they're not alone, right? Google, Microsoft, Amazon, everyone's in on this.
It's a crowded field.
Yeah, it is. And all this competition, it's driving innovation, it's pushing the limits of what's possible, and the effects are going to be felt everywhere, not just in the business world.
Yeah. I mean, it's really changing everything.
It is. It's a lot to take in, but this has been a really, really fascinating deep dive, I think. I think you've given us a lot to think about. As we move into this new world of AI, it's crucial to stay informed, to keep learning, to be part of these conversations.
Absolutely. And remember, the future of AI, it's not set in stone. We're shaping it right now
Yeah.
with the choices we make.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And with that, I think we'll wrap things up. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.